He did buy a machine gunner right off the bat. That's it's a good strategy for most game modes, just because the machine gunner is by far the most powerful sort of infantryman you can get. He's well worth his points cost, but on offense it can be really tough to make him worth his while. So we'll have to see how this Bren guy manages to do when the fight starts. So we do have 2 armored cars purchased. Well, the Tetrarch's a tank. 1 light tank and 1 Daimler armored car. And look, he even blurred out his little Steam thing. That's cool. Some privacy. I never bother doing that when anybody messages me on Steam. So this guy's name is Ralph Smith. He's the squad leader of that Rifleman squad. I did not manage to read the squad. Oh fuck, is that tree gonna kill? Okay, that was close. Falling debris can kill people, and in fact, on my previous video, some bloke pointed out, about an hour in, you can check the comments, there's an explosion, some debris flies, and like kills 2 people. Pretty fun. So here we go, front lines 1v1. Intense stuff. Capture all those points, or you're in trouble basically. You get a lot of points when you capture the points, and then your opponent's going to have to play the second match as the attacker, and they have to hope they capture as many points as you do. So he's running forward, immediately goes prone when he's, well, immediately is slightly overstating it. It goes prone when he sees the enemy. This adds hugely to your survivability, as you can obviously see. His AA tank nailed almost immediately by a Pack 40. He doesn't know where the Pack 40 is now, but it doesn't matter. He gets hit by an AT grenade with his light tank. A Stug is taking out his other thing. Everything's blowing up. Infantry crawling forward slowly, but getting cut down. Attacking is hard. Just to sum it up in a nutshell. We do see people laying mines. Those 2 guys on the left doing the squat, sort of rubbing their hands together. They're laying mines, so that's going to be ugly for him. In front lines, you typically do want to lay mines. It's always a great idea, but the thing is you have to choose whether you're going to sort of stop laying mines before the assault begins, or keep laying mines like this guy's doing, because typically you'll almost never have time to lay all the mines you want to lay during the setup phase. And the reason you don't want to just keep going while the fighting happens is, number 1, your mine layers are vulnerable, right? They're going to get shot. And number 2, you tell your opponent where you're laying the mines, right? Especially if you just click and drag one long line of mines, and you plant like 3/4 of them, then the game starts and your opponent rolls up and he can see you planting. Like, then he knows sort of exactly where all your mines are. He's like, okay, this guy's been planting mines in this line. I know exactly where to avoid. You can alleviate this a little bit by planting sort of scattered sets of mines. You plant like 3 at a time, 3 at a time, 3 at a time. And then if you leave them setting up during the assault phase, and your opponent sees them, he's like, well, they're setting up mines here, but he doesn't know where you've got all the other mines scattered around. So that's okay, but of course the downside to that is that if you don't have a sort of long stretch of mines, then you're less likely to catch people, because a long stretch of mines is area denial. It'll cut out a long stretch of land. And so it looks like this house over on the right is being extremely useful, because it's providing his infantry some cover, and that lets him get into the side and also get some flanking shots in on this trench, which would otherwise be very difficult. Chris Hader AA tank also doing some good damage on these infantry, so he bought another one of these, and he's going to have to be careful so it doesn't get hit by this Stug, which is angling for a shot right now, if I am not mistaken. It's trying. It's hold down, kind of, and Stugs have trouble sort of aiming down, because, well, any tank does, but especially the Stug, because it doesn't have a lot of down to aim. Hold down. Somebody posted on one of my earlier videos, he said, it's not called hold down, it's called hold defilade. And then somebody responded and said they're the same. And yes, correct, it's the same thing. Defilade's a fancy word that means, like, behind a hill, basically. Behind a thing. Covered. So this assault isn't going horribly, but everybody's dying. But that is par for the course for these sorts of assaults. You're just going to lose tons of men. There's no buts about it. That's one of the many reasons I love front lines. It just forces you to really attack and really to understand what it takes in Men of War to blow through a defense and take a point, because it's not going to happen without people dying, unless your opponent sucks. And if your opponent sucks, then who really cares what kind of tactics you need? Like, you don't need tactics. You can just do whatever. So, he slowly but surely is working his infantry forward. He did capture this point on the right just by sneaking one guy forward, and he's got another few in this trench over here. That house fell on the tank, but it's still alive. And now that this tank is getting slightly closer, it can even start putting some more fire horizontally on these enemy defenders. They're simultaneously having to shoot at another wave of infantry that he's set forward, and this means he can get some people into the cap zone finally. So, like I said, slowly but surely progress, although I think his thing's getting shot by the Stug. So we do have a sniper by the Germans if you're watching the kill messages. This is something to pay attention whenever you're playing the game. Always keep an eye on those kill messages. You don't just want to see what you've lost, but what did the killing, because that can give you important information about what's going on. Often you'll know what killed you by the kill messages long before you know what killed you just by observation alone. And this is also very great for keeping tabs on your allies and for keeping tabs on what the enemy's buying, because you know, if you see killed by STG-44 or FG-42 or something, these are indications, or like silenced, I don't know, there's some silence gun that I think the British can buy, or just whatever. They're just indications of the sort of units your enemy's purchasing. Like FG-42, oh, he's bought Fallschirmjägers, he's gotten some elite infantry, stuff like that. So you just be able to know what's coming. Man, that Pack 40 is doing some work, but he managed to sneak an AT grenade onto it, so that's good. And I'm not sure how he got to this little wall without being wiped out, but now he's been wiped out, and he's wiping out people. Oh, everybody's dying. And see, like, SAS soldier killed, so that tells you that he's got SAS soldiers. That's good stuff to know. It's just, it's a way to have information on everything that's going on the battlefield without having to be everywhere on the battlefield, because one of your main resources in a real-time strategy game is your time. You can't do everything at once. It would be nice if we were all sort of Korean StarCraft players, but we aren't. We can only do this. Could get ugly. He's got a Pack 40 seized. He's gonna shoot the tank destroyer first, because I guess it's got weak armor, but maybe he can't hit it, so now he's gonna hit the Stug, and he's gonna get the side armor. Oh, but it's hull down very well. It looks like this crater providing some great cover for the Stug, which is why he hasn't moved it the entire time. Looks like he hit a mine, but not a lot of mines. Oh no, someone's attacking. Get off the gun. Just click on the, or back up, I guess. Oh, he threw a normal grenade, so that's, oh, but it had already been weakened by the AT grenade. That's really unfortunate. He was trying to save that gun by backing it up. He didn't want it to get hit by whatever was coming in, so he's like, let's back up and I won't get caught in the blast. And I mean, that's one way to try and save the gun. The way I'm typically partial to trying to save the AT gun, well, the main reason he did it was because, of course, he also had a nice shot from that 17-pounder wiping out the Stug. The reason he did that was because he had other people firing at the person attacking the AT gun, so he just wanted to buy them some time. But anyways, I'm partial to the other method of saving your AT. Well, there's three methods. The second method is shoot them with the AT gun. That can be very difficult, but if you've got an HE shell loaded, you can often just like, boom, shoot near the guy, use it like a rocket launcher in Quake, just shoot it for the feet, hit him with the splash damage, or like a spin fuser in Star Siege Tribes. Disc launcher, spin fuser, what do people call it? I always called it a disc launcher, but then people called it a spin fuser. Oh, armored car knocked out. So that's your second option, not really typical, especially if they're coming at you from the side or something. Third option, the one I prefer typically for saving my AT gun, is just to decrew it, get the men off. I think if you double tap L, they'll just get out of there. Double tap L is sort of abandon ship, it's in a vehicle. It's like abandon ship and blow the fuck out of ship. They'll set the dynamite to blow if you double tap L and there's dynamite on the thing, and then they'll get off and run. But I think for something like an AT gun, or basically for anything that doesn't have dynamite, double tap L is just get out. Double tap L is for get the hell out, H-E-L-L. So I think that's all you need. Otherwise, it's very easy just to click the AT gun, and then in the bottom right, just click on the two little men, and they'll both get out. Because immediately when you get out of the AT gun, I'm saying get out, because that's what you do when it's a vehicle, but you don't get out, you just simply like stand up. You're like, oh, I am no longer a crew member of the AT gun, I'm just going to stand up, and then you pull out your gun, and you shoot the person running right at you, and then you get back right into the AT gun. So, well, he's going to nail this tank destroyer. Boom! No more Martyr 3. Martyr 3, new unit introduced in the patch by Digital Mindsoft. Thank you, Digital Mindsoft. We love you. What was I saying? Oh yeah, no, what was I saying? Something about dismounting from an AT. Oh yeah, the way what you're typically, if you're attacking an AT gun, that sucked. If you're attacking an AT gun, conversely, the best way to attack it is not to get spotted, obviously. If you don't get spotted and you close to range, then you can throw a grenade or something. Ooh, minefield. Then you can, if you're not spotted, you can throw a grenade or something. Second best is typically just to rush it and hope they don't see you coming, like, they don't see you coming in the fog of war, like the AT gun will spot you, but hope that they don't see you coming like the player, like they don't have the micro to decrew the AT gun. Because, that's typically what you're hoping for. You're hoping they're doing something else and they won't be able to take their people off the AT gun, or you're hoping they're not a good enough player to react in time and realize that they should get out of the AT gun. Look, that Stug has a little Stug-shaped trench dug for it. Isn't that adorable? That's really adorable. He's deciding what hero unit to buy. So if you know your opponent's distracted, then you can basically rush at an AT gun with infantry, no problem, because it's, unless it gets, oh, here comes a Goliath. Shoot that. Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. It's gotta be, well, you don't need to shoot it. You can just let it explode. It's gotta be impressive either way. Goliath! Killed some people. It's called SDKFC, so SDKFC must stand for something other than, like, half-track, because even though that's the thing in front of all the half-tracks, if it's in front of the Goliath too, it's obviously not half-track. So Achilles just ran over a mine and lost a track, so that's not good. But it's still going to be able to fire the Stug. So yeah, if you're pretty sure your opponent's, or even fairly sure your opponent's distracted, just run at the AT gun, because unless they have someone guarding the AT gun. Ooh, knocked out some tank crew on the Stug. Nice penetration from 17-pounder, which is a beast of an AT gun, by the way. Oh, unfortunate, those infantry getting cut down, but he gets them into the trench before things got too bad. So if you're even fairly certain that the opponent's distracted, just sprint at the AT gun, because unless they have something else covering it, you're just going to be able to run up and shoot everybody or blow it up. So another thing to think about when attacking an AT gun is, what grenade do you use, right? You typically don't want to shoot the people out of an AT gun because they have this little shield and it's just really fiddly, and you basically have to get behind them, so that's going to take too long. So grenade is what you use. So if you use a normal grenade, you have a chance of killing the people. Sometimes it doesn't kill the people, especially on a larger AT gun. You can't really land the grenade like perfect, so you can only kill one of the two. The other's sort of shielded. Let's see if this immediately runs into another mine. Nope, that was the end of the minefield. We have a Kar 98 sniper killing people still. So a normal grenade might decrew the gun. An AT grenade is almost definitely going to decrew the gun and possibly also kill the gun. And of course, if you want to steal the gun for yourself, an AT grenade's no good. But the problem with a normal grenade is that it doesn't always work. So I'm a big advocate of, oh, and the problem with an AT grenade is that it sometimes kills you. And I'm a big advocate of overkill, so I usually go for the AT grenade. Ooh, this SAS soldier comes with a Piat, so ideally he would kill the Stug, but he got shot. That's unfortunate. Piat in real life lobs things. It's a fucking spring-fired weapon, which was a pain in the ass. A P-I-A, pain in the ass, to fire, because you need to, like, well, not to fire, to load. You needed like 100 pounds of force, or I don't know, some ridiculous amount of force to cock the spring mechanism. Wow, this SAS soldier has 4 stars of skill with his Sten submachine gun. That must mean he can shoot anybody from anywhere forever. And in fact, he is getting some shots on that guy prone. He's quite a little ways away, but he's gonna get owned because that machine gun on top of the Stug. So this guy should really be trying to grab the Piat from behind the logs. Unfortunately, oh, never mind, doesn't need it. Unfortunately, in Men of War, the Piat is not an indirect fire weapon. You cannot lob it over obstacles or anything like this. It basically just works like a bazooka, except it fires even corkscrewier. It's sort of a really twisty thing, and it's not a rocket-fired weapon in real life. It doesn't glow, it doesn't leave a trail. It just goes like floop, floop, and then it flies out, and then it hits, and then it blows up. But not Men of War, unfortunately. So that's one of the very, very few ways in which Men of War is less realistic than something like Company of Heroes, which does model the Piat. That minefield is really cutting down his men. So that's unfortunate. Maybe someday they'll change this. in Men of War and make the Piat into the thing. It should basically just fire AT grenades. Oh, that thing hit a mine. And those guys on the right hit a mine, and those guys in the middle hit a mine. Fucking mines, man. There's mines everywhere. It's game over, man. Game over. You need a minesweeper. Mine disposal people are inexpensive and in front lines almost always worth it, especially at this point in the game. When you've got this point captured, you can just send them in and they will not die because you own this place, so the enemy's not going to shoot them. The reason our player Jackafess or whatever is not buying them is probably because like every time you hit a mine, every time one of your men explodes, it's that much less likely that you need a minesweeper, because like one less mine, right? You know, somebody just ran into it, it's not going to blow up again. So like once he's lost like 6 squads of people of these mines, it's like, well, how many more mines could there be? Like I've run into all of them, or at least all of them in like the sort of spots where if I tell my men to run to the front from sort of the back, they're going to hit like, clearly I've hit the obvious mines, so I'm good to go. But no, now he's finally got a mine disposal expert here, and look, it's a fuck ton of mines still. So, okay, here's the question. What do you do with the mines once you find them? The answer is the same as what you do in Minesweeper, the Windows video game. The same as what you do in Minesweeper. You don't do a thing, you just put a flag on them, and you're good to go. No, don't run into where you haven't swept for fucking mines. Yeah, see, you put a flag on them, and the flag is a magical mine disposal flag. Because mine diffusal is what it does. It renders them unblow-uppy. Presumably because in real life, like, the mine radius would not be huge, and so if you knew exactly where it was, and you put a flag exactly where it was, people would just not step there. I don't know. I mean, like, obviously in real life, you just, like, stay the fuck away from the mine, don't even get close. And where would you get all these flags? But, like, in sort of Men of War real life, the idea is that the mine has a small radius of whatever. Blah, blah, blah. So this guy's name is Derek Williams, the Assault SMG Infantry. I feel like that's a real person. I'm gonna Google that. Like an athlete or something. Derek Williams is a British documentary film director? No, he's an NBA player. Well, he's multiple people. He plays in the NBA, I think that's where I heard him. National Basketball. Antarctica is what I think the A stands for. So, 90% and ticking downwards, the enemy has control of the flag and back up to 100. So, Jackaf has almost moving in on this thing. He has 5 minutes left. Very unlikely that he's going to capture the back point. So at this point, he should be focusing on taking the front point. He's not too down in points comparatively. The enemy has 850 points. He has 170. So you're like, what are you talking about, Tycho? He's super down. But if he manages to capture this point, things will look pretty good, because you get a significant amount of points, an amount that I do not know because my knowledge of things is limited. Running into this trench when he has a submachine gun, an MP40, clearly not the best idea. Walking into the, maybe running's the wrong word, sprinting was the bad idea. Double right click means just run for your lives. I don't care who you encounter. Don't say anything, just run where I want you to go. It's like a run, Forrest, run, and you'll just get shot by somebody with an automatic weapon. So don't do that. Just tell them to walk. Just single right click, and they're still going to run. But they're not going to sprint. And do that, and they'll be fine. I was talking about this in one of my earlier videos. Somebody said hit F8 and click, and that's like sort of a middle ground between sprinting and running, but still attacking. Like maybe it's sprint and still attack. And I tried that in game, and I can't remember if it worked. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Try it. F8 plus click or right click or whatever might be sprint but shoot when you see people, and it might just be basically just right click, I think is what I determined, but I can't remember. More testing. This is where my non-encyclopedic knowledge of the game really pokes through. The problem with Men of War is that there's a shit ton of stuff. It's not like StarCraft or Company of Heroes or something. You can just like spend 10 minutes learning how the game works and you're done. It's like Men of War is designed by crazy Russians. So here's these tanks running through. The enemy has not yet retreated. Wow, don't lose that tank. Front line's been captured. Bam! Like 2,500 points or something for our hero. So that puts him safely in the lead. And since there's, well, I don't know, there's 3 minutes left, he could try to capture the next point, like sprint there. He's sort of out of points, but the thing is the enemy is probably out of points too. The enemy can get more points by retreating to the second line, but maybe he's already done that. Oh, we have an armored vehicle, a half-track. Has to, well, no, enemy just bought a bunch of shit, so probably just retreated to the back line. He somehow killed a lot of men with his Panzer IV, a lot of his own men, and then lost the Panzer IV, so this is looking up for our hero. And then knocks out, wow, no, first he knocked out like a Stug, and then he knocked out Panzer IV. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's looking really good suddenly. He might be able to blitz through, look at that house. Oh no, nope, 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 Tiger. Surprisingly the infantry is alive, they can hop out the half-track no problem, but now they gotta run back and then get prone. So, last minute push takes some stuff, but, and considering he killed those 2 tanks, it's totally worth it. Like, he's gonna have to lose a shit ton of stuff for those 2 tanks to not be worth it, and there's like no way for that to happen. Maybe if the Tiger wipes out his Churchill, it won't be quite as good. And there goes the track, so things are now looking very bad for the Churchill. But wonderful last-minute push by Jack FS with a couple of really lucky hits, and maybe the Panzer IV had hurt the Stug on its own. I don't know. Maybe the Panzer IV accidentally stopped it. Did he just knock out the Tiger? No, he didn't knock out the Tiger. Some tank crew died, but that must have been the Panzer IV or something. This is getting intense. Look at this. Panzer IV hull damage, so this is nuts. What? No, don't drive too close to the shack full of people. Blow up that shack at some point. Just blow open the side even with an AT grenade. That's what he's doing right now. Uh-oh, track damage on the... Ooh, that tank destroyer is too far forward. Tiger's gonna shoot it. STG-44 is wiping out all these infantry. Infantry should probably be staying back a little bit. There's nothing left for them to cap except this last point, so there's no need for them to rush forward until these tanks have been taken out. They're just going to get mowed down by machine gun fire. This is exciting. Yeah, getting in that trench would be perfect. Don't know if it makes sense to really sprint your guys into... Oh, he has 20 seconds. Okay, that was super exciting. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. That was some good attacking by Jack FS, going by Mega Misfit in this video. I had a lot of fun. I like snow maps. I like Men of War. Everybody likes everything, and unfortunately, I believe the enemy player, after this match is finished, he quits. So we never get to see whether he's able to come back or whether he would have lost. No opportunity to watch the defense is what I've been told. And there's 40 seconds left on this video, so clearly there's not a second round. But a lot of fun, and I think Frontlines is still a very fun game mode, even if you don't play it to completion. It changes up the tactics that people use, it changes up the units that are available to people. You don't get to buy everything you want when you're on defense or even when you're on attack. And it's different maps that you don't normally see, and it's asymmetrical gameplay, which God knows Men of War needs more of, because all the sides are already completely different, so let's just change a bunch of other stuff too. So, that was fun, and thank you very much for sending in this video, and I will see you guys later. Hello everybody, I'm Tack, and this is a Men of War Assault Squad video, another one actually sent in by viewers like you. Jack FS, or whatever his name is, he sent in a previous video. Let me look up on YouTube what it is. Oh, by the way, this is Frontlines. He is playing as the British. We can see his opponent's likely going to be Germans. And so he is setting up for the attack while his opponent sets up for the defense. I am browsing YouTube right now, trying to figure out what the last... Oh, I believe he sent me the Tiger Turning Right video, so if you go watch that on my channel, you'll get to see this guy playing. But I enjoy it when other people send videos because I don't have to record things, and because in all likelihood, if you are watching these videos, if you care enough about Men of War to not only play it but also watch videos, then you're probably better than me. And it's nice to see British being played because they have funny accents. Unfortunately, the sound in this video when I'm watching it is super, super low. I think I can bump it up. I checked in Audacity, and I can bump it up for you guys, so you'll be able to hear it when you're watching. But Mine's deathly silent, so I'm going to actually turn on, well, no, I'm not going to bother turning on music. I'll just sit here in silence listening to my voice. And the British are fun to play in front lines because on the defense they get some good AT guns, and on the offense a lot of their tanks have fairly good armor, so they aren't quite as likely to just get knocked the fuck out like in one blow. So it looks like he's going with infantry squads largely, and then Crusader AA tank, a light tank, or I don't know, medium tank, whatever that would be. It's not quite a light tank. I guess it's a light tank. But the gun is an AA gun, and he's going with an armored car too. So that's not a very powerful gun, but it does have a closed top, which is better than you can say about a lot of AA vehicles. It's not quite as vulnerable to things like AT grenades or even normal grenades getting in the top. So